construction of self-identity sometimes is very painful and very slow, but also sometimes happens in a flash. What persona did I need to adopt in order to be taken seriously by you, in order to be worthy of being here? Who did you need me to be? And so in that question of examining the self, in some senses, we just need to be still and listen to who we are.
When you're young and you're looking for acceptance, you take it in whatever form it comes in. And that's where people find themselves being vulnerable to stereotypes and just pushing themselves into categories that they might not be at all. Because at the end of the day, you can never lose who you are, but you can be afraid of who people think you are.
Being there for someone is like who I am.
I'm a lover. I would say that. I can love hard.
I'm someone who cares way too much about other people's things while also trying to validate my own opinions about myself.
Just as a human, I identify as someone who is always there and they're always ready to go and support others.
What makes you you that's not your typical trait, you know?
I am an anxious person.
I think that's who I am, is someone to be here to love others.
I am a dreamer.
I am family oriented. Out of all that I am in my artist self, I identify most with as being a teacher.
We're all labeled as people like you are a dancer, a teacher, you are this. But you're not solely that. You're so many different things. You're not labeled as that one thing. Yes, you do dance, but you are passionate and you are creative.
I feel like for most people, they say, I want to be the best part of myself. And that's, like, I really do want to be the best part of myself, but I also want to be the best part of myself that helps the world and, like, helps others.
I want to be happy and
I want to
meaningful.
love wholeheartedly.
I want to be a good teacher one day.
I want to be
I
unapologetic.
am standing up for others because they can't.
I have to be proud
I want to
of
be
who I
happy,
am.
meaningful.
I want to be a good teacher. I want to teach in schools,
somebody
but
looks up
also
to
like
one
I want to
day.
be
just like
more
why
understanding
Somebody in my life like that.
Like, for most people, they say,
I
want to be the best part of
want to be
myself.
standing
And
up
that's,
for
like, I really
others
want to be
because
the best
they
part of
I
can't.
myself,
want to be
but I
the
also want to
teacher.
just, like,
But also
help
like
everyone
just like
like,
why
I
I
want to be
a good
that
teacher.
happy.
Like, I really do want to be the
Who am I? I don't think I am anything. It's what I do.
I oftentimes think that if I had the support that I really needed when I was younger, that I would look and behave so differently and my gender expression would be completely different than who I am. And it's so frustrating to think that I was meant to be a completely different person, but ended up as I am now because the world was so unaccepting of me and my feminine tendencies and my behaviors. And
I was very sensitive as a kid, but growing up I was taught not to be. Lost myself, and I had to be very emotionally numb because expected me to do these things like wear bows and skirts and all that crap, and so I accepted the fact that I needed to dress like a girl and talk with the girls and be a girl.
From day one, I was mesmerized by the lightness of the beautiful silk fabric, the costume, from the elegant flow of the skirt all the way to the sparkly, shiny sequins in the bra on top. However, I was excluded from the experience of learning this style of dance because I was a male that needs to be masculine. I did not let this stop me though. Every night I went home and practiced what I knew from watching the instructor teach the females, and I got better and better. I became more and more obsessed with the elegance and the flow and the partnership between the dancer and the silk. I was so infatuated. Even still, I struggled to process my confusion with the fact that no matter how much I improved with my silk technique every year, I would be dismissed the opportunity to perform this form of art because of my outward masculine appearance.
It was stupid, but it was a really big deal. I would go to school and I would arm wrestle all the guys, and it was a huge thing how strong I was because girls can't do pull-ups.
I have so much, we all have so much to bring to the party, and that's what it's all about. I want kids write to me and say,
I've always just felt like a really big outsider.
what am I going to do with my life?
I didn't freaking care what my hair looked like, and I didn't want to wear makeup.
My parents don't understand me. I write back and I say, listen, find out what it is you have that makes you unique and special, and cultivate that and make that, bring that out, and then bring that to the party. We are so incredible. We're an extension, the power that created the whole universe, and we have to acknowledge that, and say that, and say, yes, I am that. It was really tough. I mean, it got really dark, but one of the things that kept me going through it was knowing that, bad weather always passes over, and if you can persevere, that's what this book is about. It's about perseverance. If you can just wait it out, it will pass. In fact, it was good for me going back home because I got to recharge my battery and understand what it is I wanted to go out there and do in the first place. I guess my battery had gotten weak, and I got back there and I said, I'm special. I'm wonderful.
Now imagine how much happier we would be, how much freer to be our true individual selves if we didn't have the weight of gender expectations.
Let me go back to the beginning when we were all created. You know, we are connected with the source. We call it God. They call it the source. Well, God wanted to learn. And one way he decided to do it was to send his children, I guess you would call it, out to learn and bring information back to him. He blown it out into all these millions and millions of little tiny particles. They all went shooting out in all directions. These little sparks. Some of these little sparks became galaxies. Some of them became planets. And many of them became our own individual souls. So when you take you back to what you really are in the very beginning, all you are is a tiny, tiny spark. A tiny little piece of light. That is all you are. You can do anything you want to do because you have powers beyond belief. Because you're all one with God. But the average person out there, they don't understand that they say, what do you mean? I've lived before? This isn't my first time. No, you have to come back again and again and again until you get it right. Earth is a school. And you do volunteer to come here. You make a contract to come here to go to school. But it's the kind of a school that you can repeat a grade, but you can't skip a grade. So if you don't get the lesson right in this lifetime, you're going to have to come back and do it again in the next lifetime. And a lot of times with the same people that you've already been dealing with. You better work it out with them now, or you're going to have to come back and do it again with the same people. Because it is just a school, and all we are doing is learning lessons. That's what it's all about. Remember, every life has a lesson. There's something you have to learn as you go through these different lifetimes. This is one that is important. Some of these lifetimes may not last that long. You'll learn your lessons quicker. So, you have had lives on other planets, other dimensions, that you come into this life thinking you are all alone. Thinking there's nobody there. You're all alone. This is not true. You're never alone. You'll always have people with you. But they say you come in forgetting everything, think you're all alone, and you have to find your way back all by yourself. And I think it's very important to know you're not alone, because some people are afraid of dying because they think they're going to be alone. Well, you always have someone who meets you when you cross over. I call this the greeter. It could be a family member, it could be a friend that's already deceased. But if you don't have anyone like that, your guide will be there. So you are never alone. When you come into a life, you have a guardian angel or a guide, whatever you want to call it, is assigned to you. And they are with you your entire lifetime. That's their job. They have to be with you to guide you and help you and protect you your entire life. Get in touch with this. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through dreaming. If, when we come into this life, we forget everything. We come in, the blinders are on. I've had people going through the birth experience, and they get on the other side of the spirit side, and they're making their contracts with the people that they know they have karma to be paid back with, and they'll say, well, let's go back and do it again. We didn't do such a good job, did we? The husband, I'll be the wife, you be the mother, I'll be the daughter. You can switch the roles around any way you want to. And you make a contract with those people that let's try to get some of this worked out. Some of the problems you're having with people can go back many, many lifetimes. You have a body. You are not a body. Come to Earth to learn emotion and limitation. This can be done with love. Everything is love anyway. Everything goes back to love. That's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to learn is love.
tense, release, tense, release, tense, release, tense. Free your jaw, lower your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Loosen your neck, lower your shoulders, pour into your ribs, settle into your hips. Find the slack in your thighs, melt into your knees, soften your calves. Release, tense, release, tense, release. 70% of adults in the U.S. will experience a traumatic event in their lifetime, according to the National Council for Behavioral Health. That is 223 million people. A mind-numbing number when considering the effects of the disorders associated with harmful stress. 26% of children in the U.S. will witness or experience a traumatic event before they reach age 4. People who have experienced trauma are 4 times more likely to abuse substances, 3 times more likely to use antidepressant medication, 3 times more likely to be absent from work, 3 times more likely to experience depression, 3 times more likely to have serious job problems, 2.5 times more likely to smoke, and 2 times more likely to have some serious financial problems. Tense. A person may experience trauma as a result of any event they find physically or mentally threatening or harmful. Webster's dictionary defines trauma as a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. See how both of these definitions only wrote in generalities? Neither partitioned out a specific experience that would equal trauma. No one can dictate what life events should or should not be traumatic. We all have our own threshold for stressful events and thus respond to trauma in different ways and to different degrees. What is traumatic to you may not be traumatic to me, and conversely, but that does not negate the reality of what we have faced. Only you can choose to validate your own story. Release. Upon contact with a threatening or a harmful experience, our body falls into one of 2 categories, fight or flight. For a moment, we lose conscious control, relinquishing to the more primitive section of the brain, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. These initiate a release of adrenaline, which in turn increases breath rate, blood pressure, and heart rate. The skin pales and fingers numb as blood rushes towards the vital organs and major muscle groups. Vision tunnels while muscles tense. It affects pain receptors and memories. In an instant, you make a choice. Can I fight this? Can I run from this? Tense. Trauma nurtures dissociation, dysmorphia, and dependency. It invades every aspect of personal identity, altering relationships, roles, dreams, beliefs, goals, values. Weaving itself into the identity, trauma can become a defining characteristic. Personal boundaries of identity blurred in an instant, morphing us into a stranger, even in the mirror. We become unrecognizable, our bodies reduced to shells, eyesight haze, the world turns to gray and ash, and we can't even find a way to fit. Nothing. No one is safe. Trapped in a perpetual state of basic survival, we lash out. Backed into a corner, we pull away. This is what our bodies were built for. To protect. To shield. They do not forsake us. They do not abandon us. The body is the loving embrace, the reminder to be full of care, the autonomy, the hope, the identity. What we feel has been lost can be found within. Release. Tense. Release. Tense. Release. Tense. Free your jaw. Lower your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Loosen your neck. Lower your shoulders. Pour into your ribs. Settle into your hips. Find the slack in your thighs. Melt into your knees. Soften your calves. Release. Tense. Release. Tense. Release.
Movement is powerful. Voices to be heard. Educate the uneducated. Dark places. My advantage. Educating myself. I only hope.
If I could take off my skin and leave it at the door, and you couldn't see color anymore, would hearts be worth fighting for?
Hey, look, I hope you catch a wave.
Talk to him.
Doesn't subside. This for the nappy heads in heaven. With the nappy head Christ by their side. I pray you catch a wave.
Yeah.
Doesn't subside. This for the nappy heads in heaven. The nappy head Christ by their side.
Yeah.
May your streets be paved with gold.
Yeah.
Oh, look, make it home.
Yeah.
May your streets be paved with gold. Oh, look, make it home. 'Cause the world can be toxic, especially when your skin look like chocolate. At one point they sold us for profit, but we made it out of the gauntlet we chosen.
How much more blood needs to be spilled? Will Smith said, racism is not getting worse, it's just getting filmed. And that is because this is not the first time that a black person has been killed. It's happened over and over and over and over again. They say repetition is like the definition of insanity. So what is that saying? This world is broken and it needs to change.
And you can lie there now or sit there and enjoy this feeling as long as you want. But once you decide to get up, be sure to activate all your muscles.
Gabby, although you are unable to be in class with us most of the time, you are always there spiritually. You are a hard worker and your presence is vibrant even when you are on the screen. Thank you for always contributing from miles away and being yourself.
Hey Kimber, the first time you ever talked to me, you asked me what time it was, and ever since then we've been talking. And I appreciate you because when we do partner work and everything, you're really supportive of what I have to say and what I want to do. And just thank you for talking to me about asking what time it was.
Gabby, I just want you to know that I really appreciate you. You are one of the most honest and true themselves people I've ever met. I'm so glad that I've gotten to have a friend like you.
Jalen, thank you for always bringing a positive light into class. You always have a smile on under your mask and ready to work. I admire you as a person and a dancer, not only because of your hard work, but because of the passion and love you have for dance.
Hey Emma, you always bring positivity into the studio. You are so helpful and always try to answer any questions I have. You have done a really good job of trying to bring all the freshmen together.
Caitlin, my first dance major friend. Someone who I can always count on, either as a walking partner or a friend. Also a fellow Louisiana native, which only makes me love her more.
Shakina, thanks for being so sweet and making me feel at home again. Your smile is contagious, your laughter is beautiful. I love people like you who exude beautiful, kind spirit and confidence. Thank you so much, Shakina.
Whenever I can watch Alec in class, I can just feel the love of dance behind each move performed, and it inspires me to put that kind of passion into my own moves. He is an early bird to class, just like I am, so I know I will always have some company in the studio before my classes. And I highly respect the good vibes he puts off because it always makes my day even if I'm having a bad one.
I enjoy dancing with Kennedy. She's friendly and helpful, and she gets the job done. My person was Emily, and I'm really inspired by her because from the first day she has shown nothing but professionalism in class, and she really inspires me to push harder and to really just grow in professionalism and be the best I can be, and always just continue to grow throughout dance and really love